I will end the devastating inflation crisis immediately, bring down interest rates, and lower the cost of energy.
We're going to bring those prices way down.
A vote for Trump means your groceries will be cheaper. Groceries, cars, everything. We're going to get the prices down. Starting on day one, we will end inflation and make America affordable again.
Egg prices have reached an all-time high.
It was a long, before I ever got here, it was at an all-time. This didn't, remember, I've been here for 3 weeks. And when you saw the inflation numbers, I've been here for 3 weeks. I have had nothing to do with inflation. This was caused by Biden. And inflation is back. I'm only here for 2.5 weeks.
That was January.
Inflation
You were there
is
for a
back.
week.
No, think of it. Inflation's back. And they said, oh, Trump, I had nothing to do with it. These people have run the country. They spent money like nobody's ever spent. I will end.
The stock market is about to have one of the largest crashes in U.S. history. We just got some new data that shows there is nothing that can turn this around. It's going to happen in the next 10 to 12 months. Let me show you why. Now, this chart right here shows overvaluation across the board. It's got a lot of different things it takes into account here, but the biggest part, this has only happened 3 times in U.S. history, and we just hit an all-time high right now, breaking back what happened in 1929, 1966, and 1999 in the dot-com bubble. Now, people like to hate on Warren Buffett like he's not insanely successful. I have his value versus historical trend right here. We previously set the record back in the dot-com bubble, and then we set it again during COVID. But right now, we are at a new all-time high again on this, beating out the 70s, the dot-com bubble, and 2020. Now, if you talk to any insanely wealthy person, they typically are not sitting on a lot of cash. Their cash is typically in assets, stocks, different things like that. Well, right now, Warren Buffett is sitting on the most cash he ever has been in history. And if we look back at it, in Q4 2024, their cash balance rose by $145.2 billion. People are preparing for a crash. There is multiple metrics that are showing it. It happens quite a bit in the markets every few years, but this one is set to be a monster.
Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praises, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Raha, Kadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone, who the rule and teach well. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Barakatham, to all the sincere believers, Akim and Aquat out there listening and learning. So, America's about to go into a massive financial collapse. America is already in a financial decline, but see, this thing is really about to explode. Okay, as you just saw in this this clip right here with the stock market, these wealthy elites, you know, they're sitting on all this cash, all right, and right now the stock market is pretty much in shambles. So what's happening is these investors that invest in the stock market, you know, wealthy individuals, they're pulling their money out of the stocks because right now is not a good time to buy stocks, given that we're in wartime, given that the economy is changing, people are losing jobs, not that much money is flowing into the economy like that. So these financial prognosticators, they're now pulling money out of the stock markets, and trust and believe that if there's about to be a financial collapse, they're the first ones that's going to know about it, and they're going to move accordingly. All right. And dealing with Trump, in that first clip, he's talking about, on the first day, we're going to end inflation. We're going to do this and do that. Well, we're a month now into his presidency. Egg prices are at an all-time high. Utilities have gone up. Insurance has gone up. The price of groceries has gone up. Everything has gone up since this man has been in office. And his excuse is, I'm not responsible for that. I've only been here for 3 weeks to a month. This is Biden. Well, I thought you said day one you were supposed to come in and clean all this shit up. What happened? All right. But see, these stupid Americans, he just told you what you wanted to hear. He just told you what you wanted to hear, made it sound good, and made you believe him. Because Trump, he got away with words, man. All right, so he called you people for the okie doke. And what's about to happen is when this stock market crash, and these, foreign markets cease to continue to do trade with America, all right, because even right now, the EU, they're looking to separate from America. You know what I'm saying? They're not really messing with America like that. All right. So the free market is in a free fall. Okay. And this is the result of it. Let's check this out. Consumer confidence registers biggest monthly decline since August 2021 as inflation fears take hold. The American consumer is getting worried about the economy, and rightfully so, because the promises that Trump was talking about to deliver to the people, clearly it's not being executed. Here it is on day one. This guy signs over 200 executive orders, which no doubt many of them are directly against the American citizen. Okay, special orders. So when certain things go down, they can come in and they can do what they got to do. Further dismantle this society. All right, but the point is, the American consumer, they're not confident about the buying power of the dollar. All right, furthermore, you have government employees getting laid off like there's no tomorrow. So this place, America, as we continue to warn you, is not the future. This place is about to be out of here real soon, man. And the elites are going to make sure that it does. So reading right here says, economic jitters are showing up across various sentiment surveys as the Trump administration aims to reconfigure America's trade relationship with the world, and inflation shows signs of getting stuck. The latest evidence comes from the Conference Board Consumer Confidence Index for February, released Tuesday morning. The index fell to 98.3%, falling for the third straight month and marking the largest monthly decline since August 2021. As expectations for inflation in the year ahead climbed, that coincides with the trends reflected in the University of Michigan's Consumer Survey for February. Home builders are also growing worried. According to the National Association of Home Builders, even U.S. small businesses, which remain somewhat optimistic about deregulation and tax cuts, are in doubt about the economy's future. And see, why wouldn't people be worried about the economy? Here it is, people can't save nothing, businesses are losing money, people now have less money on hand than ever, and this all goes into that Hegelian dialectic, pressure from above and pressure from beneath. All right, the squeeze is being put on the people, man, and this is why people are crying out saying that, we can't afford nothing. You see, here it is, we believed in Trump. Trump was supposed to be the great white hope for America. He's supposed to come in and be the savior, clean up what Biden destroyed, when all he's doing is setting up the New World Order before you. That's all that he's really been brought in to do, with the likes of Elon Musk and BG that's in the background. Okay, that's all of what's happening, man. And see, the prophets told you that the prophets told you that this was going to happen to you. All right, but these people went out there, casted their vote for these wicked ass politicians, thinking that, well, damn, somebody got to make something happen. But see, you fail to realize that the people that are in power before you, they don't have your best interests, and they never did. See, they are working for the interests of the elites and their billionaire buddies. They don't give a damn about the average working class citizen. All right, they're about to really do away with majority of you. Okay, so Trump done pulled the okie doke on these Americans, man, and look, it's well deserved. Okay, because hey, you gonna get what you voted for. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing about it for sure. You gonna get what you voted for. So all you Jakes, you know what I'm saying, all you Edomites, even you other nations, Elam, Ham, that went out and voted for these devils, man, they gonna give you exactly what you voted for. All right, which Elon Musk even said that when him and Trump had that press conference in the White House. He said, well, people went out and they voted for government reform, and you're gonna get just that. All right, so the devil already told you what it is, man. So now it's time for these people to, reap what they have sown. All right. So everybody's in doubt. Nobody trusts the government. And this is why I says I believe in Second Ezra's, the 15th chapter, that they shall not regard their kings nor princes, man, because we're in the information age. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of stuff is coming out. People are getting more hip to this NWO, and very soon, you know, once things get to a certain point, because things are already bad, but once it really gets to the point where it's unbearable, that's when people are going to be like, hey, you know, Trump deceived us, you know, Biden deceived us, this whole government system is corrupt. All right. And there's a consumer strike that's supposed to take place on February 28th, where, you know, all across America, people are supposed to get together, you know, and not buy no gas, no groceries, you know, pretty much to make a statement to these corporations that you're taking advantage of the people. And remember, Trump just abolished the CFPB, the Consumer Financial Protection Department, okay, which pretty much was responsible for holding these large corporations accountable for not taking advantage of consumers, you know what I'm saying, not overly charging for things. Well, guess what? Now they can do that. This is why you're seeing the prices go up in these certain stores, all right? So, listen, this place is completely finished, man, all right? If you trust in Egypt, then you're going to go down right with it. It says the National Federation of Independent Business Uncertainty Index rose in January to its third highest reading on record. America's souring economic mood, driven by worries over President Donald Trump's aggressive approach to tariffs, is a stunning reversal from the brief burst of optimism after President Donald Trump's election in November. Yeah, exactly. You see that? It says the brief burst of optimism after President Donald Trump's election in November has now turned sour. All right? Because this devil deceived you. All right? That's what he was set up to do. That's what they're all set up to do. Okay? The fact that consumers don't feel like it's smooth sailing, you've got one very obvious suspect. That's the White House, which is sowing uncertainty just about everywhere, whether it comes to trade policy or foreign policy. Justin Wolfers, economics professor at the University of Michigan, told CNN Pamela Brown, I genuinely understand why consumers are nervous, and I hope this doesn't turn out to be a self-inflicted own goal, right? So the Fed is getting audited. Just today, Trump was trying to reinstate that government funding cut, and I think a judge blocked it again. You see? So they're really trying to dismantle this whole government, man. Like, they're really trying to get people to feel the pain, and people are feeling it. Okay? It says here, for the Federal Reserve, which they about to do away with that too, it's critical that Americans have faith that inflation will eventually return to normal in the long run. And it's not, because this is the end of America. This is the end of Babylon the Great. And the scriptures say in Jeremiah that there's no balm that can be applied to Babylon to heal its wound. That this place cannot, you know, pretty much, matter of fact, I don't want to butcher it, you know. Let's go keep that real quick. Go to Jeremiah 51. Because, yeah, see, now people are starting to see that this place, Babylon the Great, ain't the place to be. You know what I'm saying? People are leaving Babylon, you know what I'm saying? You got, you know, Northern Kingdom going back to Mexico, going back to, you know, Peru, you know, Colombia. Because why? Quality of life is better there now than it is here. America is a complete shithole, man. Jeremiah 51 in verse 8, it says, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her take balm for her pain? If so, she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go, everyone, into his own country. There you go. People are fleeing back to their home nation, man. All right, you got these heathen going back home. Okay, you got Elam leaving. You know, you got Ham leaving. You know, you got Moab leaving. Ammon, you know what I'm saying, going back home. Because why? The American dream is dead. You see, let us go everyone into his own country, for her judgment reaches unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. Yeah, now it's obvious that this place, America, Babylon the Great, is under severe judgment, man. And this is why, it says that Americans, it's critical that Americans have faith that inflation will eventually return to normal in the long run, and it's not. Okay, because this place can't be healed, man. Now is the time that the Lord is about to bring a great threshing to this land because of the evil that's been done therein. All right, this is a wicked system, a wicked government ruled over by wicked people, mainly the wicked, which is Esau, Edom. Central bankers pay close attention to people's perception of prices because they can be self-fulfilling, and that's another thing too. You would think when you turn on the news, you would think that America is the land of milk and honey. All right, because they're telling you that the economy is better than ever. Even though egg prices are a little high, even though the price of meat is going up, even though gas is going up, your cost of living overall is super high. But if you let them tell it, they'll tell you that America is in great shape, that inflation is going down. That more jobs are being created. And this is why nobody's watching the mainstream news no more, because they're just openly, blatantly lying to you. All right, what they're telling you on the news is not lining up with the reality that people are experiencing. So now people know that it's complete BS. You know what I'm saying? That's why soon come these people, these red-blooded Americans, them hillbilly Edomites, man. They gonna get together, they gonna form militias, and they gonna go against these politicians, man. They gonna start going directly against the government because this is really their last-ditch effort to preserve their kingdom. You see? But it's all gonna be in vain, man. See, trusting in America is all vanity. It's not gonna work. All right? Let's see here. Uncertain economy. Everything here is uncertain, man. The only thing that is certain is Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Okay, the prophecies of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. That's the only thing that is certain, man. All right, but you trusting in this place, thinking that you gonna have your nest egg here, that you gonna somehow this place gonna bounce back, and you gonna live happily ever after under the rule of the wicked, then you're deceived in your own mind, man. Okay, the Most High has blinded you to the truth of the matter. You see? Now, because they was talking about gold, right? They was talking about now people are buying gold because they see that the stock market is going down, all right? Because there's about to be another crash. Well, people did the same thing, all right, back in the 1930s, you see? Because they understood, once the stock market had crashed in 1929, people reverted back to what they knew, which is using precious metals as a form of trade and payment. Okay, so even back then, people bought up gold and silver, all right, to still have something to trade with because the money was pretty much through. You see? So Executive Order 6102, which this was enacted by President Franklin D. Roosevelt in the time of the Great Depression. Now, we're going to read a little bit of this because they about to do the same very thing today. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if this is one of the executive orders or a new version of it that Trump signed in on his first day in office. All right, because he signed over 200, right? We don't even know all the 200 that he signed. All right, we only know of a few of them, but this right here could be one of them because the elites know that, okay, people are watching the economy, they're watching the stock market, the economy is going to shit, the dollar's about to collapse, so people are buying up silver and gold. Like if you watch on Redacted, Clayton and Natalie Morris, they're always talking about buying up gold and silver, to hedge against this inevitable financial collapse, right? So we can read this. Executive Order 6102 is an executive order signed on April 5th, 1933 by U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt, forbidding the hoarding of gold coin, gold bullion, and gold certificates within the continental United States. The executive order was made under the authority of the Trading with the Enemy Act of 1917 as amended by the Emergency Banking Act in March 33. And all these acts that these all these acts that these devils just sign into law, right? Whenever they want to do something, they don't go by the Constitution. They, you know what I'm saying? They can just make a law on the spot to justify what they really want to do. All right, this is why they really about to do away with the whole Constitution, because it's in the way, man. All right, and really they've technically already gotten around the Constitution. You know what I'm saying? Like how many times do you hear these presidents reference the Constitution as a standard of law? Really, they never do. You see? Because apparently, you know, the founding fathers of America, they were supposed to be against government tyranny. You know what I'm saying? They were supposed to be against the government becoming radicalized against the citizen. Because after all, America is supposed to be what? We the people, right? But these politicians, these government officials that have been put before you, they're actively taking away your rights. They're actively destroying the Constitution right before your face. And people see this, man. Right? This is why sedition is coming. Civil war is coming to America. All right? Because very soon, they just going to do away with all this, and they not going to give a damn. You know what I'm saying? And you know, that's when stuff is going to get buck wild out here. All right? But beside that point, it says, at the time, matter of fact, let me get this. So the summary of it is, it forbade ownership of quantities of gold coin, bullion, and gold certificates worth in excess of $100. Now, $100 back in 1933 was a lot of money. So if you had $100 worth of gold, then you were pretty much rich. You see what I'm saying? So they was like, yeah, they signed this into law by executive order saying that no U.S. citizen can have more than $100 worth of gold in their possession. Okay? With exemptions for specific uses and collections. It required all persons to deliver excess quantities of the above on or before May 1st, 1933. So they gave you a deadline. They said, look, if you got more than $100 worth of gold in your personal possession, we need that. Okay? We need you to turn it in, or else, as it says here, in exchange for 20.67 per troy ounce. All right, so people were compensated for the gold, but in reality, people lost out because the gold is worth more than a damn Federal Reserve note. Okay, even though back then, you know, they were on the gold standard, but still, having physical gold is better than the damn piece of paper, man, because the piece of paper that you get is supposed to actually represent, or what's the word? It's actually supposed to be representative of the amount of gold that you're supposed to have, right? But they said, give us your gold and we'll give you these FRNs, okay? But they gave you an ultimatum, man, and pretty much anyone that went against it, they were fined, you know what I'm saying, or they were jailed. All right, so the same thing is coming back now, man. The fact that people are hoarding up all this gold and stuff like that, they could very well impose another executive order and say, hey, give us your gold, or we going to, come kick in your door, arrest you, or we going to fine you. Or, the times we in now, ESO just might put you to death and just take it from you. You see? It enabled federal funding of exchange stabilization fund using profit realized from international transactions against new Federal Reserves. At the time, this policy faced criticism from those who asserted it was completely immoral and a flagrant violation of the solemn promises made in the Gold Standard Act of 1900 and promises made to purchasers of Liberty and Victory loans during World War I. The critics also claimed this executive order would lead to an inflation of supply of credit and currency, which would cause a fraudulent economic boom, which would eventually bust and result in a depression, which it did. Okay? So, when Yahushua said that the thief cometh not but for to steal, to kill, and to destroy, all right, he was talking about Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. All right, because here it is, right? You're an American citizen, times are hard, and you have a certain amount of gold to hedge against the poverty or tribulation that is going on. Then the government come in, Esau, and he tell you, hey, look, I need that gold. All right. And the whole reason why they even brought this about was because they don't want the citizen to have any type of autonomy outside of the system. Because what came about during the Great Depression, you had welfare programs. Section 8 came about. They started building projects. Okay. They started doing food stamps. Okay. All these social programs that you see now came about during the Great Depression. All right. Before that, you ain't really have the government helping people out like that. You see what I'm saying? So that whole stock market crash in the Great Depression, that was nothing more than the government taking more control over the lives of the citizens. Because before that time, you pretty much had to make your own way. You know what I'm saying? You didn't really have too much interference with the government and people's lives like that. You know what I'm saying? People had their farms, they had their, land that was set up and things of that nature. Okay, but once the Great Depression came about, everybody lost. You know what I'm saying? Then if you had gold, you had to give that up too. So what? Now you had to depend on Esau's system. You had to depend on the government, which that came in the form of social programs, okay? Which the people still to this day are hooked on, okay? So this man Esau, man, has an evil covetousness, okay? Anything he sees that you got that you can help yourself out, he want to come and take it from you so that you have to ultimately depend on him. All right, because the ultimate goal is for you to receive his mark. But you can't, you're not going to receive his mark if you're self-sufficient. All right, this is why even now they're coming for the Amish. All right, because the Amish, they live in Babylon the Great, but they're not on the grid. Okay, they don't deal with electricity. They don't, deal with, pretty much anything outside of just living a, very, base lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? They live off the land, they grow their own food, they build their own house, you know what I'm saying? They farm their land, they grow their own animals, you see what I'm saying? So they don't really need the government for much, but that's about to change. All right. Now check this out. It says the limitation on gold ownership in the United States was repealed after President Gerald Ford signed a bill legalizing private ownership of gold coins. So you see, when FDR came in, it was illegal to own gold coins. All right, it was illegal to be in possession of gold, period. Okay, then Gerald Ford come in, you know what I'm saying, years later in the 70s, which by that time, the dollar was taken off the gold standard. So of course now they say, okay, yeah, now you can have gold because now the dollar is not on the gold standard no more. You know what I'm saying? So you can't just use gold to pay for stuff anymore. Now you have to use the FRN. You see? So these devils are very crafty, man. Gerald Ford signed a bill legalizing private ownership of gold coins, bars, and certificates by an act of Congress codified in Pub L 93-373, which went into effect December 31st, 1974. And once again, by that time, America already came off that gold standard. Okay, so what's going on today? All right, that's the pamphlet, right? Check it out. Criminal penalties for violation of executive order: 10,000 fine or 10 years imprisonment, or both. Yo, Esau is wicked, man. As provided in Section 9 of the order. It says all gold coin, gold bullion, and gold certificates now owned by them to a Federal Reserve Bank branch or agency, or to any member bank of the Federal Reserve System, which, the whole Federal Reserve is not even a government entity, man. All right, like that's some other shit, you know what I'm saying? But that's the wickedness of Esau Edom, okay? Theft by lies, man, and that's this man's whole history, and he's so wicked that he even do it to his own people. All right, Ezekiel chapter 7. We can go down to verse 17. It says, all hands shall be feeble, and all knees shall be weak as water. They shall also gird themselves with sackcloth. With sackcloth, girding yourself with sackcloth, denotes that you're in a state of mourning, all right, that you're going through tribulation. And horror shall cover them, and shame shall be upon all faces, and baldness upon all their heads. 19, they shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. All right, so in that day, silver and gold is not going to be able to deliver you from that tribulation. All right, and the scriptures say that their gold shall be removed, man. All right, so more than likely Esau gonna come and he gonna take your gold from you. All right, or he gonna take your silver. You see, their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of wrath of the Lord Yahweh Bashmiel Shai. They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, because it is the stumbling block of their iniquity. So what? Your silver, your gold, okay, physical, precious metals that people have are going to be taken, and it's not going to be worth anything. It's not going to be able to save you. But also the dollars that people have, okay, your wealth that you currently possess in this world, which is really nothing, what I'm saying, at the end of the day, that's not going to save you in that day, man. Okay, because why? The Lord is going to bring great tribulation upon these people for their iniquity, for their sin upon sin, for disregarding the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, man, for living a wicked, base lifestyle. All right, this is their judgment. You see? So the Lord is going to spoil these people, man, and He's going to use His sword, Esau, Edom, to do it. All right. Verse 25, it says, "Destruction cometh, and they shall seek peace, and there shall be none." Yeah, because right now people are seeking for comfort. They're seeking for peace. You know what I'm saying? They're seeking for some sort of hope that America can be brought back to its former glory, and that they gonna stop catching hell. But see, that's not gonna happen, man, because this is the Lord's will at the end of the day. All right, and truth be told, man, these people have pissed off the Heavenly Father to the point now where now they starting to feel it. Okay, He's putting the spirit on the elites to come down even harder on these Babylonians, man, because just look at the time that we're in. You know what I'm saying? We live in an extremely wicked and satanic society, man. And these people don't give a damn, so the Lord must address their wickedness. You know what I'm saying? The Lord not going to suffer these people to continue on like this for too much longer, man. All right? 26. Mischief shall come upon mischief, and rumor shall be upon rumor. Then shall they seek a vision of the prophet, but the law shall perish from the priests, and counsel from the ancients. You know what I'm saying? So right now, people like to scoff and mock the prophets. Say, well, guess what? The day is going to come where you're going to seek a vision. The day is going to come where you're going to consider the words that the man of the Lord was speaking unto you. And guess what? In that day, you ain't going to find it. All right? Amos 8 and 11, the famine of hearing the words of Yahweh Bashmiel Shai. These days are coming upon us swiftly. Isaiah 24 and 4, the earth mourneth and fadeth away, the world languisheth and fadeth away. Just as we read in that article, American consumer confidence is at an all-time low. All right? That's languishing, man. That's pining away. And fadeth away, the haughty people of the earth do languish. You see? It says, verse 7, the new wine mourneth, the vine languisheth, all the merry-hearted do sigh. The mirth of tabrets ceases, the noise of them that rejoice endeth, the joy of the harp cease. The city of confusion is broken down, every house is shut up, that no man may come in. There is a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened, the mirth of the land is gone. Verse 12, and the city is left desolation, and the gate is smitten with destruction. So this perfectly describes the state of Babylon the Great. And really, we ain't even seen that yet. All right, this is only the beginning of sorrows, man. But when that real tribulation comes, as we'll read in Matthew 24, right? Matthew 24 and verse 6, it says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. And all these things are happening as we speak simultaneously. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Then when you go down to let them be Yeah, verse 20. But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And Yahweh Shai was speaking of the calamity that occurred in 70 AD when the Romans came in and sacked Jerusalem and destroyed the temple. You know what I'm saying? That was a time of great tribulation. You know what I'm saying? And you know, that was the greatest tribulation to that time. But hey, the same thing is going to apply now in these last days, man. All right, we're coming into a time of Jacob's trouble. You know what I'm saying? A time that has never been seen before and likewise shall not be seen again. All right? The time we're coming into, this is going to be 70 AD on steroids. You know what I'm saying? This is going to be worse than, you know, Spanish flu, you know, worse than, you know, World War II, you know, World War III is going to be going on. You won't have people eating each other out here, you know. It's going to be great distress in the land, okay? These are the days that are coming, man. Great tribulation. And the scriptures say that through great tribulation shall we enter into the kingdom, right? So we got to go through these things. And, you know, this is why our faith is going to have to be exercised in this time, man. You know what I'm saying? Because we're going to have to completely separate from the system and walk on faith. Okay, walk on faith and not by sight. You know? So the true believers, man, you know, we're going to have to, you know, continue to gird ourselves up in the spirit to deal with the things that are coming on this earth, you know. So, hey, when you see things like this, all right, consumer confidence registers biggest monthly decline, man. Look, just know that the end is very near and that the fall of America, Babylon the Great, is right around the corner. All right, so with that, I'm going to go ahead and close out. In closing, call Allah, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rakah Kadash. And until next time, Lord willing, shalom to the elect. And kum la sha'ala, wa baba ball. On to the next one.